Hello, welcome back to another edition of the 30 Days of JavaScript. I want to welcome you back. And I'm still working on my speech with my uhs and ands and alls and everythings. I need to take a step back because the yesterday's edition for the concatAll, I did not test it. There we go. In regards to being able to pipe, not even pipe, to chain another method off of it. So I have to take a step back here and gonna do two parts of this in the same because what we're gonna do today is we're actually going to start chaining to be able to drill down into the data that we want to receive. So let's take a step back here. I'm using the Chrome Dev Tools now because the Quokka in Visual Studio Code wasn't exactly being cooperative. So I have to find out why that is. So we'll start again with a movie list that we've been working with. And so the movie list, it's got a little more complicated of an array with data inside of it. You'll see that it's an array that's got some objects, and then inside of those we have some videos that are that for each of those they're an array that have objects. Now, so what we want to do is we can't just do something like movie list map movie list videos ID. It won't be able to do that. So what we have to do is that what we're going to try to do is let's heck. Now I'm interested in myself here. Let's take the movie list map movie list dot videos dot map. It's videos map video dot ID. So what do we get here? Okay, so this here, if we step through it, we're going to map over each of the movie lists, which is going to give us new releases and dramas. And then from there, we're going to map over to videos, and we're going to get the video ID. So that's helped us in part of the problem. But what we're really wanting to do is we're really wanting to cat all these. So we're kind of stuck in the middle here and being able to actually flatten these all out. Now, yesterday, let me just clear this. Yesterday with concatAll, I don't want to step back through. You can just watch yesterday's, but I made a mistake in regards to being able to keep context. So what we have to do if we're going to have concatAll, which is going to help us to flatten, what we're going to do is we're going to have an empty array. And what we're going to do is this, which our context will be movie lists. That's the array that we are going to be concatenating. And so we are going to hold a reference to the context using this. And for each, we are going to get a subarray. And let's just make this a little bit easier to read. Let's just do the whole thing. And we're going to pass in a subarray. Now, so for this right here, so we're inside of the current array, and now we're going down into a second array that's inside. Now, what we have to do here when we're inside of this is that we're going to push this subarray. But the problem is that we don't have context. So what we're going to have to do in order to get the subarray for each of those arrays in the movie list where we're holding on to context of this is that we have to give results the context. So what we're going to do is we're going to give results to context, and subarray is what we'll be pushing into it. And let me not forget the all-important return those results. Okay, so there you can see our whole new concatAll method on the array prototype. So now that we saw that with mapping over to map, so flatten it. So what we want to do is we want to be able to flatten both of those arrays that we were able to map over into being able to get the video IDs from those and make it into just one collection. So here it was right here. So here we mapped and we got a movie list, and then from the movie list we went inside of the movie list, but the movie list had two objects, and so inside of there we had new releases and something else, and then from those we got the videos, which was an array inside of the objects, and we mapped over those, and from there we got the video ID, which was our instructions. So what we have is we have the arrays with the IDs, and that was a requirement. But the final part of that requirement is that we actually wanted to just flatten them all. So instead of having two arrays, we just want one. So for this movie list is that we are going to go inside and get the subarray. And so when we get the subarray here, we have two of those. And what we're going to do is that we are going to push those into our results and return our results. So one at a time, we're going to go inside, and the context is going to be the results. So each of these arrays, we're going to take one subarray, two subarray, three subarray, four subarray. Each time we're going to push into there. So with that said, we're just going to chain that concatAll onto there, and now you can see is that we flattened it into one array. So then but you know, one of the issues, and we're going to continue to get past this, is this little stickler right here. So what happens is that we get ourselves, I guess it's a funny word to say, we get ourselves in a little bit of a bind, because there's a lot here that that is required in order for this mappings to be able to then be chained by concatAll. So the dependencies, sorry about that, the dependencies are there, and mainly because we're holding on to a context. So as we continue on, we're going to remove the need for this context so that anywhere concatAll can work without having to rely on any of the flattening or projections that are done before that. So that's just a recap of being able to fix concatAll from the previous video, and then being able to use it with another method on the array where we map over an array that we map inside of the array, subarray, get the video ID, and then from there we actually just take and we concat all of them by taking each of these and pushing them into a results array, returning that as results, and that will give us a flattened map of arrays. So that is it for today, and we will continue to move forward in the 30-day journey and see as we progress each day how far we can get. Thank you very much.